Hey Harmonizers! We are on a road trip in the United States. Today we just arrived at Lucky Orphans in New York, and the horses are just stretching their legs because they've been in the trailer for a while. We're pretty excited because we're going to be doing the first Harmony Horse Handling Certification course, so I'll be sharing some tips from that. And the Harmony Horse Handling Certification is a new program to teach these simple, achievable, friendly and effective, we call them the SAFE techniques for horse handling. So basically there's a lot of common procedures like lunging, giving a horse a needle, and there's an equine first aid course which teaches what sort of things your horse needs, but there's no course or certification program that helps you know how to work with a horse that is fearful of needles or is fearful of something or is scared or doesn't like taking a dewormer or things like that. So we created this program to help with the handling techniques, so that way if you've got a horse that's difficult to lunge or hard to settle down or doesn't want to have their foot poulticed or something like that, we're going to share these techniques of how you can work with the horses. These guys are having a good time stretching their legs. And so we're excited to share that. We're excited to offer this for horse owners, for people who work with horses. I think it's going to be really helpful. And we're here at Lucky Orphans, which is a horse sanctuary, and they have a lot of volunteers who come and help out with the horses and with the horse rescue. So this type of program is going to be perfect for the people here, and we're going to be filming it and putting it all online, and anybody who does the course in person actually gets access to the course online as well. So that's a really nice little perk that they're going to be able to go back and see all the footage that we're taking part in. I'm going to share some key tips with you guys, and then after this weekend we're going to be continuing down the road and heading to North Carolina, where we're going to go down to Tryon and have some fun down there. So these guys are excited that there's no ice and there's no snow. They don't have any blankets on. It's really pretty warm here compared to what we're used to. So we're going to let them finish stretching their legs and then put them back to bed for the night, and we'll see you tomorrow with some tips from the course.
So here we are inside the course, and this is one of the participants, and I love the techniques that we use. We call it the 8 to 80 program because it works for an 8-year-old or an 80-year-old, and this course had people of all ages, including this young 10-year-old here. And what she's learning is the difference between drive and draw. So this is something that I think is really important to focus on when we're teaching horses to lunge, and this was one of the skills that we practiced, and it's being aware of when your feet are moving backwards versus when your feet are moving forwards. So forwards is when you're driving a horse and you're sending them forwards, and backwards actually calls a horse to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tip from that course, and now we're on our way to North Carolina.
My wonderful truck decided to break down. We're at that lovely auto service center fixing the muffler that decided to misbehave.
Always an adventure while traveling with me, and one of the things when we're traveling with the horses and we're doing these long drives, the horses are spending a good 15 hours or more in the trailer. We want to make sure we offer them water, but I find they usually don't want water until usually at least 6 hours into the trip, but we do want to make sure we offer that to them. So after our super long drive, we finally made it to North Carolina, and once we got there, and it was already midnight, Fairly did not want to get off the trailer. She was just scared. She heard Bling slip before her, even though Bling's fine. It wasn't a big deal, but she just didn't want to get off the trailer. And we didn't have this issue when we were in New York, and nothing bad happened. So we ended up letting her turn around and go frontwards off the trailer in the morning, have a drink, and then we put her back on the trailer to practice backing off. And that's Annabelle there, basically just standing and waiting. She's got the rope attached to Fairly, and just waited for her to back off. And what we ended up doing, you can see there, we put it up against a hill so the step down was less severe. And then we practiced. And I'm going to put this full trailer loading video in the Connection Club for April. So if you're interested to see that, hop into the Connection Club. If you're not sure where to do that, go to harmonyhorsemanship.ca and click Become a Student and join the Connection Club. And one of the tips, though, for trailer loading that I want to share is that you want to keep repeating the task until you have relaxation and understanding. So, and we adjusted it for Fairly. Like here, it's up against the hill, so there's not a big step down. And we repeated it at that level until she was really calm and confident going in and going out. And then she got to have a break and go out with her buddies. And then later on, you can see it's later in the day, we moved it a little further away. So now there's actually a bit of a step. So she's got a step up, and then there's a bit more of a step down. And then the next day, while we were there, we moved it out even further. So if you're not sure how you can adjust for your horse, another way might be taking out the dividers so it's less intimidating inside the trailer. But we want to keep practicing until we have relaxation and understanding. So this is a little look at Charlotte. She's my friend that we were visiting while we were in Tryon, North Carolina, and she is learning how to teach her horse sideways without using a stick. She's just using her hands and her energy and her body language. And it's one of my favorite ways to teach that. So here's a look at my little guys out in the field. That they had a little round pen that they could stretch their legs in. They're enjoying the grass. And then here's another look at Fairly, now practicing the trailer on with a full step up. So we pulled the trailer out so it's like normal height, and we wanted to have this really well practiced so that way when we go home to Canada that it wouldn't be a super big deal. Definitely did not want to have that issue of being getting back already late and then having to deal with that. So you can see she's mastered that with patience and is doing much better. So here's a little look at riding Fairly. So this was Fairly's third ride post-track. And I'm just riding her in the Fusion halter with the reins attached. So one of my favorite things about the Fusion halter is because of the leather cheek pieces and the side rings, you can actually use it for trailer loading, but you can also use it for riding. You can just attach reins. So we're just doing some calm connection exercises, focusing on relaxation. And I was doing these with Charlotte as well. And one of the cool things about visiting Charlotte and doing these relaxation exercises is Charlotte has a lot of dogs, and you're going to see a few of them in a second here, and that was really good. So I was able to get Fairly kind of exposed to dogs and other animals, so that was kind of nice, and she wasn't upset about that at all. So she was doing fantastic. And Bling and Arwen got to do some cross-country jumping, just groundwork for them. They mostly just came just so that way they could hang out with me and realize that traveling is no big deal. So I didn't really have a purpose to bring Arwen, Bling, or Fairly. Just, hang out. The more they travel with you, the more that when we get down to the thoroughbred makeover or Mustang makeover, it's not going to be such a huge deal for them. So that's why they came. And then this is my little guys loading up on the trailer to head back to Canada, where we still actually have ice and snow, although it is slowly starting to melt. Definitely not happy about that. Would rather be in North Carolina where they've already got grass growing. But it was a good trip for the horses. It's good to have that experience for them where they go on those long trailer trips but don't really have to do anything. It's a great way to expose them. This is Bling here. And then we put Fairly at the back so that way she could get off first when she got home and wouldn't have to maybe listen to Bling slip again if that's what spooked her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and coming on this road trip with me. Remember to like, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.